There isn't a whole lot to see on the east side of town, so I will be returning to the pharmacy very soon.
This is the corner of Main and Education Street. The assay office and the schoolhouse are on the west and east sides of the street respectively. Clutter prevents your passage to the south. Shrubs and weeds grow amongst the wreck of the old train depot. It's the old abandoned assay office, once owned by a subsidiary of the old abandoned mine company. Before the mine shut down, this is where you got your nuggets appraised. Now you have to go to Madam's for that. It's boarded up, but there's nothing in there anyway except some worthless old rocks and a few petrified cinnamon rolls. Insert your own nauseating joke about rock and roll here. This is the old red schoolhouse, one of the few buildings that still seems solid and safe. This is the schoolhouse door. Penelope keeps this door locked all the time to keep the kids in and the rabble out. Thank goodness there's no such thing as a fire code yet.
It seems like she's trying to keep the kids out as well.
It's Penelope Prim, full-time schoolmarm, full-time single frontier woman, and part-time heartthrob. How does she do it all? Easy. She's incredibly uptight and has numerous stress-related diseases.
Oh, Penelope!
She ignores you. Looks like Penelope's headed inside the school for a while. Maybe you can catch her on the way out.
Yeah, she does not stay outside for too long.
It's a long plank firmly attached to some sort of axle, allowing one side to pivot upwards while the other side descends. When the kids play on it, one of them teeters at the top and the other totters at the bottom. Say, you've got an idea for what you could call this thing.
A kiddie polt!
You can't play now.
Why not?
It's Weebix, one of the little orphan girls. Keep your hands off the kids. They're Penelope's responsibility.
Hello, Weebix. How are you this morning?
She pointedly stares away from you, counting to herself and looking just a bit peeved.
1, 5, 9, 33, 4, 7.5, 2, 6. I've confused you now, haven't I?
Weebix's eyes get very large and well up with tears. She sets her jaw firmly and keeps jumping, starting with 1. You are not proud of yourself.
I would not blame her if she decided to punch Freddy in the crotch right now.
Freddy, I beg you, not in front of the children.
Penelope!
Freddy, how nice to see you. Did you leave work just to come see me?
Yeah. Just being able to look at you makes my day seem to fly by.
Penelope titters and tilts her head coyly.
Oh, you do know how to flatter a girl, don't you? Now you get back to work so you'll have enough money to take me to the Sadie Hawkins Day dance next week.
As you wish, m'lady.
Oh.
Oi, where you going?
It's a little boy rolling dice and muttering something about baby shoes.
Was it my imagination, or did his head become unattached to his body for a second?
The boy shrugs you off. He seems awfully intent on getting control of the dice.
So, you boys playing jacks? Where are the jacks?
They snicker at your naivete and return to their game.
Now, I don't believe that I can even Yeah, this hotspot is going to be tricky to catch.
Hello again, Penelope.
Freddy, you rogue! Courting a girl in broad daylight and all. Why, I'm going to get a reputation.
I just needed to hear the music of your voice. Now I can muddle through the rest of the day with the memory of your smile and your kind voice.
You do lard it on, don't you? You make me all giggly.
Only because I love to hear you laugh.
I don't.
It's Sissy playing on the slide. The boys call him that because his mother dresses him so effeminately. Sissy is in a foul mood. He'll bite your finger clean off.
Hello, Sissy. My, your golden locks are looking pretty today.
Sissy glares at you with a look that says, I know 1,000 ways to cause pain to a human body. You want to start counting? It's a ladder propped up against the slide so the kids can play. The ladder, held in place by a couple of old loose screws, easily comes away from the slide. You somehow cram it into your pocket along with the rest of the junk you're carrying. Way to go, Freddy. Wrecked the little kids' playground equipment. If only they knew how good and true your heart is.
Score!
It's a sea shanty. See? Shanty. You just went cow tipping last night. You can go shanty tipping some other time. What percentage does one tip a shanty anyway?
Alright, we have 2 more scenes to explore.
This big old water tower was previously used by the train station. Now it's junk. Chances are you'll need that. Don't be tossing it into the swamp.
Need what?
Main Street comes to an end here in the thick, mucky swamp. Beyond it lies the old, abandoned mine.
I'm just confused by this. I mean, does the narrator think we're going to chuck our eyes into the water?
It's the last train to Course Gold, and it's sunken at the station. The tree leaves here are dying and diseased.
Just like me.
Over yonder's the old abandoned miners' commissary, where the miners used to eat before the mine closed down. Of course, the food over there is as fresh now as the day it was made. You can't possibly reach that house from here.
We can't really reach anything from here.
You don't want to touch it. It gets all over everything, smells bad, and won't come off. You can't take it. It's not yours. Besides, there's no way over to the mine anymore, what with the swamp getting wider, thicker, and deeper all the time. You don't feel like taking the train right now, and you can't get over to it nohow.
I'm sure that we could. All we need to do is climb up here.
It's dangerously rickety. You don't want to go around disturbing it. Like old Doc, it'll fall over eventually anyway.
Alright, let's get out of here. We have seen this location beforehand. Well, twice beforehand, should I say. By accident.
This used to be the bakery, where Let Her Rise a While sold all sorts of delicious breads, pies, and cakes. There was a sudden surge in muffin popularity on the East Coast, so Letta closed up shop and moved out east to take advantage of it. Now that she's out east, she misses the fields of the San Joaquin Valley, so she named her new chain of bakeries Mrs. Fields. Once this was the mayor's mansion, before he turned old and gray. Yep, the old gray mare ain't what it used to be. This tank stores the whole town's drinking water supply. It's the old grist mill. Since Mr. Grist left town, not much happens here. You can see the roof of one of the Main Street buildings from here. The outhouse has a signature half-moon cutout.
Hold on.
There's a spigot at the base of the water tower. Some old farming and milling equipment sits in disrepair further back on Collier Bluff. By the side of the road sits an old covered wagon. It's covered for theft and fire. The windmill turns steadily in the arid, coarse gold trade winds. The bakery's closed for good. Don't go over there. They shoot strangers, revenuers, horses, and pharmacists.
Revenuers?
It's wood. What more did you need to know? You turn the faucet on and water gushes out. You turn the faucet off. Your arms are too short to do any roofing work from down here. The building's closed. There's no use milling around here.
Pardon me, this stall is occupied.
He looks very familiar.
You've seen enough dismembered limbs to know not to fool around with old farming equipment. There's nothing inside or outside the wagon worth taking. Have you ever had your hand sliced off by a propeller? Would you like to? Then don't try sticking your hand in the windmill blades.
You're no fun. Right, we are done exploring the town. All we need to do now is explore the pharmacy. There are a few shortcuts here and there. I still don't know how to enter the back of the barber shop.
The sign says Pharkas Pharmacy. This must be the place. It's the door to your pharmacy.
I knew that.
That's the left pharmacy window. With all the dust out here, it's a pain to keep clean.
Now, who is this? I'm going to assume gentleman.
It's Dominic, one of your part-time Native American employees. He works under the professional name Runnin' Gag. The union told you that you had to have a cigar store-style Indian out in front when you opened your pharmacy. But since there were lots of out-of-work real Indians in the neighborhood, you decided it would be politically correct to hire them.
Okay. I'm not sure what to make of that.
Please don't take my cigars, Freddy. This is how I make tips. Standing out in front of the store doesn't really do much to guarantee me a secure retirement.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, Freddy.
What's new?
Let's see. I finished reading A Century of Dishonor last night. Quite impressive. That Helen Hunt Jackson really knows how to evoke an image of the white man's treachery. Do you know how many treaties your people have signed and then broken in the past 20 years alone?
Excuse me, I heard someone calling me or something.
Right, time to enter the pharmacy. It's only taken 3.5 videos. Did we speak to this guy before?
One of the few remaining townspeople wanders around trying to find a decent opera house that's still open.
Hi.
talkative fella, ain't he?
At least he's polite.
The pharmacy door is locked. This ain't Mayberry, partner.
As you can see, we have 8 out of 999 points so far. Now, which one of these is the pharmacy key?
Nobody will miss this key to the church since the church is never locked anyway. But doesn't it have an unusual shape?
Does it? Well, I guess there is a cross right here.
Hey, this looks just like the key to the front door of my pharmacy.
Score!
You unlock the door. Ta-da! 500 points. You're halfway through the game.
Well, that was easy. There we go. That is our first objective complete. And we really do have 500 points just for opening the door.
This multi-instrument piano roll style juke machine is called a symphonium. Trouble is, the company that sold it to you went out of business after producing only one roll. And how many times can a person listen to does your chewing tobacco lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? The symphonium hasn't worked since 1885, when old Manny Rivberg put his fist through it.
Old Manny Rivberg. That old Manny Rivberg, he just Oh, sorry.
That's enough. Say any more and we'll have to pay a royalty. This is your pharmacy, where you work, hence the name Pharkas' Pharmacy. This hand-painted sign adds a real touch of friendly, folksy atmosphere to the place. It also spells pharmacy phonetically, inbreeding being as popular as it is around here. Back then, this is what was known as a support system. Your overhead designer lamps are rarely used, since the pharmacy closes at sunset. This sign clearly lets the townsfolk know that the prescription counter is in the back of the store.
Someday, maybe there'll be a glass tube there, bent in the shape of the word prescription, filled with a rare gas that will glow in brilliant colors. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Boy, that'd make people actually want to buy drugs.
Seems sturdy enough, for now. Certainly you're desperate for sign of some sort, but not this kind of sign. No need to turn on the lamps. The dry rot gives off a dandy phosphorescent glow. We were going to put in this elaborate animation of you touching the giant finger, like the creation mural on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, depicting God touching Adam's finger with lightning bolts crackling all around. But screw it.
How would Freddy reach?
You thought an iced cream stand would attract customers. Mostly it attracts cockroaches, especially now that the iced cream deliveries have stopped. Yes, you often feel like ripping this ice cream stand down and binging on the dregs of the leftover toppings, but you have to watch your heroic, girlish figure. It's a tube of Preparation G, the Wells Fargo wagon driver's friend for over half a decade.
I know what Preparation H is. I'm guessing that this is some kind of parody of it.
Here, on top of your reduced table, Madame Gazonga's Parfum D'Eau Springtime Fresh Scent, Aunt Lily's Toilette Essence Shampoo, French Woman's Brand Breath Detoxifier, Pinkham Edible Depilatory, Hollywoodland Ruminant Suppressant. Hollywood stars don't chew their cuds. Why should you? The new Episheep Easy Shearer, and Preparation G, though you don't always have that on hand.
Well, we do now. Score!
You pick up a tube of Preparation G in the handy 25-ounce Krabby Elephant size. On the upper shelf of the left-hand cabinet you find Pearls of Pauline Anti-Prune Finger Bathing Gel, My Little Cleft Palate Mouth Repair Putty, Dr. Limbaugh's Chuckle-A-Day Cannabis Extract, Cremation Non-Dairy Coffee Ash, Peaches and Cream brand Cream Peaches, and Chinaman's Choice Real Oriental Curative Straight Pins. On the bottom shelf of the left-hand cabinet are Red Eye brand Deep Cleaning Chlorine Abrasive Facial Scrub, Whoopsie Daisy Fashion Air Adult Incontinence Pads, Slick and Pretty Linseed Oil Shampoo, Luck of the Irish Underarm Oatmeal Packs, and I can't believe it's not Opium Hallucinogenic Stick. Nope, that's not one of the pills, poultices, or preparations you'll need.
How do you know?
You briefly consider shoplifting some of these items. But hey, you already own them, so where's the excitement? You don't need any underarm oatmeal packs. You took care of that little problem this morning. And fortunately, you don't need any of this other stuff either. It's the president's wife. She's the head of the Just Say No to Ether campaign. On top of this cabinet, you have a stunningly arranged display of Old Snuffy's Limp Root Hair Oil Cream in the 8-ounce, 16-ounce, and giant 64-ounce Baby Huey jars, as well as a few dusty boxes of Rustler's Stove chocolates. Rustler's Stove, the standard of drugstore chocolates for over half a century. On the upper shelf of the right display case, you keep some of your hot sellers. Prospector's Pride Uranium Hair Highlighter, Her Majesty's second favorite Real Cream Toffee Lumps. Where'd you get those Rosy Cheeks face pincers? Chapspit Mucous Membrane Astringent Balm, Old Crater Face's Arsenic Complexion Tablets, and Smathers & Smathers Scrape Me Off the Ceiling Lord Jalapeno Arthritis Rub. On the lower shelf of the right display case, you keep some old, reliable, steady sellers. Doc Malarkey's Instant Redneck Tanning Fluid, Flembignon Extra Strength Expectorant, Oil of Old Lady Demoisturizer, Blakey Pete's Psoriasis and Dandruff Declumping Unguent, I Can't Believe It's a Jockstrap Testicular Support Undergarment, it lifts and separates, Detains All Saltpeter Crystals, and Rabbi Johnson's Home Briss in a Box.
Breasts in a box? Is that what I think it is?
Leave her where she is, as a shining beacon to all who gaze upon her serene countenance. Incidentally, have you heard about her scandalous affair?
No. Tell me more.
Your survival instincts narrowly prevent you from using any of the items on this shelf. You wouldn't recommend any of these preparations to your worst enemy.
Right. Objective 1 was entering the pharmacy. Objective 2 is actually starting work.
You've always wanted a counter gate. Now you have one. Now you know they're a pain in the butt.
Frederick!
Why, Miss Prim, you sure are looking purty today.
Now, Frederick, you may call me Penelope if you please. After all, I think we're to that point in our relationship.
She must be talking about the hayride you both went on last month, or the square dance you both went to last week, or the cow tipping expedition you both went on last night.
Well then, to what do I owe the pleasure of your company this fine morning?
Oh, this isn't a social call, I'm afraid. I have this rather important prescription Doc Gillespie gave me. I was hoping you could fill it as soon as possible.
My pleasure, Penelope.
It's Penelope, the love of your life, right here in your very own pharmacy, and she's as beautiful as the day she stepped off the stage.
Please Please, Frederick, not in public, and not in broad daylight, and never ever before our 19th date.
We're not exactly in public right now.
I sure have been having a swell time with you these past few weeks, Penelope.
Why, thank you, Frederick. I have too.
I do believe I have a growing affection for you.
That's sweet of you, Frederick. I think you're very cute. For a pharmacist, that is. Considering you've only got one ear. And you're scrawnier than the other men in town.
She thinks I'm cute. She really thinks I'm cute.
Way to stay positive, buddy. I've got to examine this.
Ah, your diploma from the University of Hicksville School of Apothecary Sciences and other good guesses. The old alma mater. What memories.
And now that we are behind the counter, we should be able to examine these shelves.
This is your pharmacy, where you work, hence the name Pharkas' Pharmacy.
Alright, maybe not the top.
The top shelf is where you keep all the newest, most scientifically advanced medications safe from shoplifters. Dr. Winterhalter's Magnetic Effluvium Tonic, Professor Munson's Deep Wound Iodine Salt Bomb, a little goes a long way, and Chaz Burksquire, Ph.D.'s Effervescent Enema Granules. Here on the second shelf, close at hand, is where you keep the most expensive medicines out of reach of the customers. Doc Halifax's Platinum Eczema Tonic, Montgomery's Digestive Granulated Plutonium, Dentist's Do-It-Yourself Silver Amalgam Fillings, hand drill included, and California Cowboy Aluminum Snuff. The California Cowboy Aluminum Snuff is actually made in New York City.
New York City?
New York City.
This is your pharmacy, where you work, hence the name Pharkas' Pharmacy.
Alright, cheers for that. I would have thought that there would be a description for the clock, like there is for most things in this game.
You won't need that one.
Nope, won't need any of that particular one.
Up on the top shelf here, you keep your overstock. Giesbro and Palm's Athletic Foot Solvent, Apex Ear Hair Wax, Dr. Lecter's Open Wound Bracer and Hangnail Meltaway Compound, M. Purina Slug Chow, and Vester's Guaranteed Pumice Acne Treatment. On the middle shelf, you store discontinued items. Grecian Horse Formula 99. Who says the old gray mare has to be gray? Lavorhe's Limburger Sachet Sulfuric Foaming Mouthwash. Butler & Butler No More Tears Infected Toenail Rinse. And Taste of the Southwest Mouth Tingling Mica Toothpaste. On the lowermost shelf of this case, you keep slightly scratched, dented, or previously used items. Worthington's Emulsified Balsamic Emollient Demulcent, Silver Gullet Corrosive Phlegm Wash, Fuddrucker's Therapeutic Sucking Chest Wound Patch, and the Screamin' Cowboys Oh My Lord, I Done Shot My Damn Foot Off Specific Ointment.
Fuddrucker?
Pharmacists in the know, like yourself, know that there's no value to these phony curatives. That doesn't stop you from selling them, though. Savvy druggists, like you, eschew the use of trashy medicinals like these. Chemists who keep up on their trade journals, like you always mean to do, know that these preparations aren't worth the bottles they're bottled in.
Alright, we are almost done here.
The items on the top shelf here are 1 or 2 weeks past their expiration dates. A bottle of liquid podiatrist, several tubes of Mademoiselle Lulu's leprosy cover stick, a jar of Captain Jack's Shankers Away, and a tin of hired hand brand illicit amore attractant. The items on the second shelf are about a month past their saleable shelf life. Runyon Brothers Healthful Suet Gum, Rancher's Pick Nostril Delousing Nostrum, Indiana brand industrial chewable suppositories, and a box of Lumpkin & Sons Bile Be Fresh liver deodorizer lozenges. The items on the third shelf are 3 to 4 months past their usable shelf life. Lady of Scotland Haggis Queen Conception Preventers, Old World Belladonna Derivative Blood Rejuvenator, Little Miss Perfect Figures Daily Purge Syrup, and Uncle Al's A-OK Bowel Resection in a jar.
Why do we still have these on the shelf?
The bottom shelf holds the items that are a year or more past their shelf lives, or have been found to be poisonous and/or illegal, or have inexplicably reproduced on their own. Albright's Amazing Cataract Thickener, Professor Oppenheimer's Clots No More, Haley's Uh-Oh Morning After Intrauterine Scrub in 5 flavors. If it tastes good, maybe she'll brush longer. Father O'Flaherty's Certified Heroin Pepper Upper, and a pouch of Chief Waldo's Authentic Native Delight Smoking Herbs.
Wow.
You don't need any of these items, and even if you did, they've expired.
Alright, let's do some work.